Welcome to part 3 of Historical Tea Time. It's your girl, Seven Soldier. Let's get into part 3. So again, Sonia Sanchez is basically mapping out what we have come to understand in these past historical tea times, where she says that, right, the current reality that we live in is one where man is considered a primarily material entity whose happiness is measured by his ability to acquire and maintain material heaven, wealth, and pleasure. She notes that European materialist theory doesn't denote the existence of divine, but conscripted its meaning to place it in service of material gain. Women were understood as weaker members of society, non-participants in the material paradise. So what constitutes a woman within a society? Because in the colonized world, we're literally told that our value is predicated on how desirable we are to the male gaze. And we essentially operate out of that. We alter who we are and alter what we look like a lot of the times for the male gaze, right? We feel insecure about who we are because in our minds is entrenched in what? That male gaze. And this is why I think it's so important for us to really get to, again, these root issues before we seek to understand and come to understand and know some of these different queens throughout history and some of these different freedom fighters throughout history, because we have to understand the ways in which we are operating today. We have to understand the ways that this knowledge applies to us today so that we can embody this knowledge and use this knowledge in order for us to move forward. Think about the concept of Sankofa. If you're going to go back and fetch something that you lost, you're not just going to have it in your hand just to talk about it and tell it. You got to apply that knowledge within your life and within yourself. So we can't be just these trophy wives. We can't be just these women who are only meant to look good and be in the background and just, no. You have to see yourself in the image of the divine. You have to see yourself in the image of a literal queen and a literal embodiment of God incarnate. You have to see your power. My mentor says that Black women are some of the strongest women on earth, and it's true. So imagine if we harness that power within our relationships and within our communities. We have to understand who we are and heal ourselves and our relationship to ourselves as women if we're going to seek to make our circumstances and lives better, right? It's not necessarily our responsibility to heal the world and do all of this work, but it is a responsibility that we have to our bloodlines and responsibility we have to our ancestors and our children.